Hello. Hello. I think we're on. Yep. We seem to be on. Okay. Am I, is my sound working? Check, check, check. Okay. Sound's working. Something's working for now. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. We're going to try to make it through this. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties. So we got Stephen, Jeanette, Ryan, and that's it for right now. I'm sure Marilyn's going to join us soonish. How's everybody doing? Ryan says, yes, sound is good. Okay. So, all right, let's see here. All right. So I'm going to have a bit of difficulty, I think, in reading the chat because it's not on my television because for whatever reason, just like a couple of weeks ago, a month or so ago, the uh, television kept kicking off where I was sharing the screen. So let me try it one more time. Oh, and the munchkin down there she is. Marilyn says I am here. Yeah, the munchkin. She's let me let me let me get my technical difficulties worked out, and then we will proceed from there. But yeah, for whatever reason, I've tried connecting uh, the doing the wireless display, connecting my computer screen to my television so that I can see. But for some reason, twice it has kicked it off of the television. So we're gonna see. It's connected for now. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties right when I was getting ready to go live. I went to my OBS studio, selected the broadcast, and immediately OBS locked up. And I was like, no, 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 please don't start this stuff. So yeah, so there's no telling. I don't know what's good, if it's my computer or the television or both or whatever. But I've got all kind of technical issues going on right now. Uh, so yeah, Rosie is yeah, Rosie's nesting. Rosie's sleeping, lazy thing. Hey, hey, you gonna join us today? Yeah, come on. Hello, welcome to the show. Sorry to disturb your slumber. Man, I am so glad my cat is not spoiled. Hey, sleepyhead. You're not even awake yet. Do you need coffee? Yeah. So the other night, I'm going to tell on you. The other night, she insists on sleeping with me, so I pick her up and put her in the bed, and she immediately jumps down, like immediately. She stands there screaming at me, meow, 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 meow. I pick her up, put her up there with me. She immediately jumps down, goes about 5 feet away, and starts screaming at me to pick her up. And I'm like, no, you can climb up by yourself or you can stay on the floor. I'm like, I'm not playing these little, you're not playing, I'm not playing fetch with you as the fetch thing. I was firm in my stance for about 30 seconds, and then I got up and picked her up. Because Rosie always gets her way, don't you? Are you purring? Barely, barely, barely quiet purrs. Let's see here. But Jeanette says, that's what I thought, Scott. Yeah, exactly. Hang on, Rosie. Hang on, dude. Marilyn said, that's what I thought too. Great. I know. Everybody knows that Rosie has me trained. Okay. There we go. And good news, I made sure that the receiver for the microphone was charged up and both microphones charged up. So, but today's probably going to be a short one. This is a big yawn. I'm sorry. Is my talking keeping you awake? Is my talking disturbing you? Their princess, their queen. You want to do kisses? Do kisses? What do y'all think? Kisses? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes? I say yes. Scott is well trained as it should be. Yeah, exactly, Marilyn. Exactly. Jeanette says kisses. Marilyn says yes, yes. So here we go. You ready? You ready? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Hang on. We're getting purrs now. Was that enough? You see her paw at me? She's like, okay, that's enough. All right, let's do kisses. One for Stephen. One for Miss Elizabeth lurking around somewhere. One for Marilyn. One for Ryan. One for Jeanette. One for Smile. One for Bunny. And one for me. There we go. Yes, can hear her. Are you still purring? What are you trying to? Are you? Do you have to give my hat your seal of approval? Oh, she keeps pushing my hand away. She's not down with the microphone. She is tired for some reason. I mean, I can always tell. I can tell in her face. She's just. Are you tired? Are you tired today? I know you slept good last night. Yeah, because last night she wanted under the covers with me. So I put her under the covers and she stayed there all night. Well, actually till about 5:30 in the morning. But yeah, once she got under the covers with me, then yeah, she was happy. Meow. And of course, Sasha's outside doing her thing. She was laying out in the sun. I went and checked on her uh, right before the show started. So, meow. Yeah. Yeah. You hear me talking about your sister under the cut? Oh yeah. She loves being under the even here on the sofa. She just by herself. She loves being under the covers. Like okay, we love Sasha too. Oh yeah, yes. She didn't even hardly lift her head up when I walked outside. It was almost like she just sort of looked up at me and was almost like, "Sup." I mean, she just chilling out, getting her some sun. It was really cool to see Sasha. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Last week was awesome. I enjoyed that. I'm gonna have to start doing that more often because I mean she's just a sweet, friendly little cat. She loves her some attention. What is it, baby? Are you checking out my? Do you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm supposed to order at some point. I'm supposed to order a fedora for the little tuxedo here. I found some on Amazon. Little cat fedoras. What, baby? Are you? You're just tired. You're just sleepy today. It's a lazy day for you, isn't it? Yeah. This is a good sign she's tired. She does not like being touched on her back. She's very much into head pets. So if I can run my hand over her back like this and she doesn't turn around and look at it like you got one more time to do that, then yeah, she's definitely in a lazy mood. Making a little barely little biscuits right there. You're doing a little soft meows. She's purring. Yeah, she is definitely in a lazy mood today. So we're not gonna do too much with her. I'm not gonna get her riled, I'm not gonna get her drugged up. I'm gonna let her enjoy her lazy Sunday. What do you think, baby? Some chin scratches. Love the way she stretches her neck out when you scratch her chin. Wait, yeah, her eyes are just halfway closed. Uh, yeah, we'll let her relax. So how is Attila doing? Why is my oh, while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a thumbs up because I like my content. Let Rosie chill. Yeah. What, sleepy girl? What is it, sleepy brat? So yeah, so how is Attila doing? I don't know if you can see it, but with this paw, she's barely making little bitty biscuits. Well, he now lives with my daughter, and why is because they are number one Tennessee Vols fans, and since he's orange and white, well, there you go. And my grandson loves him. Awesome, awesome. We will. I will. I will somehow. I'll come up in case my sister watches this. Then I will. come up with some kind of technical difficulty so she doesn't see that comment because she went to Auburn. And I'll let you finish that statement. Auburn and Tennessee are not the best of friends. They kept his name. That's awesome. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, based on geography, I would guess that Jeanette is a Bulldogs fan. I'm thinking. Maybe, maybe not. See, the silence is because there's a delay in when I do or say something. I most certainly am. I kind of figured so. Kind of figured so. Yeah. Now, what's interesting is uh, I don't know these teams. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. To give you an idea, Ryan, this is college football and college football in the Southeastern Conference, the SEC. College football in the South is almost a religion, and the rivalries go deep, deep. So, and uh, and I can't speak for Georgia because I don't. Jeanette can let us know what the big rivalry is in Georgia. I mean, the rivalry is really any team in the Southeastern Conference hates every other team in the Southeastern Conference. But then you have in-state rivalries that are bad. And of course, I don't know Georgia. I don't know what the two big rivalries in Georgia would be. Jeanette can fill us in on that. But in Alabama, where I'm from, the rivalries are Alabama and Auburn, and the rivalry is bad, bad, bad. I mean, it's as a matter of fact, when you go to Alabama, it's almost to the point that when you cross the state line, you have to pledge allegiance to one team or the other. It's bad. When I was a cop, I literally have worked homicides that were a direct result of the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl is played every November, and it is doesn't matter what team is ranked here, there, the other. Alabama always plays Auburn once a year, and it's called the Iron Bowl, and it's just for bragging rights. Who won this year or who won this many years in a row? And I know I have personally worked homicides that were related to directly to that football game. The last one I worked when I was at Birmingham was actually two Alabama fans that one Alabama fan killed another Alabama fan because Alabama lost the Iron Bowl that year, and uh, one Alabama fan was angry that the other Alabama fan was not more upset about it. So they got in a big argument, and the one that was extremely upset killed the one that wasn't really that upset about it, because I guess she felt that, and it was two women, that she felt that she needed to be more upset that Alabama lost. It's to a certain degree, and Jeanette backed me up on this, uh, within the SEC, but particularly with Alabama and Auburn, the rivalry is actually quite disgusting, because it's almost like people wrap their entire identity up in in their football team, and it's absolutely. I mean, people have named their kids after the mascots or after. I mean, it's the craziest thing in the world. There was a guy several years ago, big Alabama fan, uh, went down to Auburn, and at Auburn there's a part of downtown Auburn called Toomer's Corner, that every time Auburn would win a game, uh, then it was tradition that the students would go roll Toomer's Corner. They had these big old oak trees that had been there for over 100 years, and they would toilet paper them. That was part of the tradition of Auburn winning a game, is the students would go and roll Toomer's Corner. This guy, I can't remember his name. You can Google it, but he went and uh, uh, very clandestinely poisoned the ground around those oak trees, and the agriculture department down at Auburn tried their best. They pulled all the dirt out. They did this. They tried, but those 100-plus-year-old oak trees ended up dying because he hated Auburn so much. And he had one kid. Now, Alabama is the Alabama Crimson Tide. He had one kid named Crimson and another kid, I think, named Tide. I mean, literally, this guy named his kids after the Alabama football team, and went and destroyed, I think it was 2 or 3 100-plus-year-old oak trees at Toomer's Corner. So that tradition is gone. So yes, we knew a couple that actually named their son after the coach for Alabama. I'm trying to think of his name. You had Bear Bryant was the winningest. I mean, it is Bear Bryant is almost he is held in such high esteem that there are Alabama fans that are convinced that that God sat at the right hand of Bear Bryant. It's crazy. I used to have an airplane. Now, my sister used to be married to, she went to Auburn. She used to be married to a guy that went to Alabama. And I know he meant it as a joke, but he used to tell me that if I flew my airplane over Bryant Denny Stadium, the Alabama football stadium, if you fly your plane over Bryant Denny Stadium, you can cut the engine and your plane will just hover there, over the magical land of Bryant Denny Stadium. I was like, okay, dude. I mean, it's crazy. It's bad. What about? I've missed some comments in running my mouth. Yeah, homicides over it's crazy. Yeah, was that Merrill? No, was that Ryan? Yeah, that was Ryan. Yeah. There have actually been people killed over the Alabama Auburn game. We need to do. Shame about the trees. Yeah. I mean, 100-something-year-old oak trees, beautiful, huge. Let's see here. Let me see. See, I can do this since I use a webcam now. I can go to my phone to look stuff up. Uh, let's see here. Even though the webcam has crappy quality, the quality last week was awesome. I mean, the iPhone 17's got a great camera, but yeah, in comparison, I'm like, I knew that the quality was not that great before, before last week, but yeah, when I did the episode on my phone, yeah, it was bad. Oop, tumors. Didn't even finish. Toomer's Corner. Yeah, you can Google Toomer's Corner. There's pictures of the trees, all rolled and everything. Let's see here. Toomer's Corner. On Wikipedia, Toomer's Corner is a street corner located at the intersection of Magnolia Avenue and College Street and marks the northeasternmost reach of the campus of Auburn University and the beginning of downtown Auburn, Alabama. Two landmarks are located on Toomer's Corner: the Bank of Auburn, now a branch of PNC Bank, and Toomer's Drugs Pharmacy. History and tradition. Toomer's Corner is named after businessman and former state senator Sheldon Toomer, a former halfback for the first Auburn squad in 1892. Toomer founded Toomer's Drugs in 1896 with a $500 loan from John Reese, and later founded the Bank of Auburn on the corner of Magnolia Avenue and College Street in 1907. In 1952, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, I wasn't too far from it. Okay. In 1952, Toomer sold the pharmacy to Mack and Elizabeth Lipscomb, who elected not to rename it. In 1962, Auburn fans and students began to celebrate the games by covering the power lines outside the pharmacy and the trees directly opposite with toilet paper. There is much controversy over when, quote unquote, rolling the corner became a celebration for all things Auburn. It is theorized by David Housel that it began in 1972 when number 9 Auburn scored an upset in the Iron Bowl against number 2 Alabama, a game remembered by the title Punt Bama Punt. Initially, the rolling of the corner was sparked by the employees of Toomer's Drugs Pharmacy. They used an innovative method to signal Auburn's victory during away games by throwing ticker tape from their telegraph. The store was resold as of 2019. Toomer's Corners continues to bring fans, residents. Okay, vandalism. The large live oak trees formerly on the corner had been vandalized on multiple occasions in 2010. The trees were poisoned using an herbicide called Spike 80DF. 2 months later, on January 27th, 2011, the perpetrator called the Paul Feinbaum sports radio talk show to confess the actions, which were presumed to. Yes, I know it's the Rosie Show, but I have information that they need. We'll get back to you in a minute. Paul Feinbaum sports radio talk show to confess the actions, which were presumed to have been driven by Alabama's loss the previous week in the Iron Bowl against Auburn in 2010. The phone call was tracked and the perpetrator, Harvey Updike, was arrested. Updike, formerly of Dadeville, Alabama, was sentenced to pay a fine and spend time in jail, after which time he was placed on probation. Efforts to save the poison trees were unsuccessful. The corner was eventually restored with untainted soil and replanted with 2 new grown southern live oaks. While the soil and trees were replaced, people were restricted from rolling the trees with paper until they acclimated to their environment. In 2016, the trees were replaced a second time after they were set on fire by Jochen Wiest following Auburn's win over Louisiana State University. Attempts were made to save the trees, but the trees were determined unlikely to survive. The other tree bordering College Street was not affected by the fire, but had failed to grow properly for unknown reasons. In February 2017, 2 fully grown trees were planted to replace the tree that had failed, the tree that had failed, and the tree that had been lit ablaze. So again, people were so upset by the simple fact that Alabama lost a football game to their biggest in-state rivalry. One guy killed the trees with poison, and another time somebody else set the trees on fire and destroyed them. I mean, that to me is actually may show a level of insanity. If you are so, and that's what I was saying a minute ago, there are people that are so tied up and wrapped up in college football, in the South to begin with, or uh, uh, or Alabama or Auburn or Jeanette, correct me if I'm wrong, Georgia or Tennessee, that they will actually do harm to traditions, to things, to people for the sole fact that their team lost. Marilyn said, "Can you give her a kiss from me?" Oh, did I miss you, Marilyn? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You ready for extra kisses from Marilyn? There we go. Lots and lots of kisses from Marilyn. I am so sorry about that, Marilyn. Uh, uh, you're welcome. Meow. Yeah, it is sick and evil, Marilyn. Uh, Ryan says, to think all the things those trees saw, it's eerie to walk past a big tree and to think to yourself, this tree was here decades ago in my life and it is still here and looks mostly the same. Yeah. Yep, exactly. I mean, those trees have, uh, and not just those. I mean, where I used to live in Alabama, I had a big oak tree in my front yard that was there probably, if I had to guess, probably over 100 years. It was huge. And, like Ryan said, just think of the things that it saw. All right, I'm going to back the chat up because I think I missed a couple of things when I was reading, so I don't want to miss anything, leave anybody out. Love tree. Ryan says, love trees and they're so distressing. Yep. Ryan says, what leagues are there for the best football players? So Ryan asked, what leagues are there for the best football players? Jeanette, I may let you take this one because, quite frankly, I don't follow. I know that I'm probably not the typical person. I don't. I generally just have more going on than. Well, I don't follow football. I mean, sport, college or pro or anything. So, Jeanette, you may. I know that. I know that you've got a couple of different leagues or a couple of different divisions in college football. I think you've got what is it, Jeanette? The Big Ten or the Pac-10, and then you've got the Southeastern Conference. And I think Texas, one of the Texas teams, just joined the Southeastern Conference like 10 years ago. But Jeanette, you may be better able to answer that question than me. That is a good question. And then, of course, you got the NFL for pro. Ryan said, love trees and nature, so distressed. Yeah. Maryland's would be 2. Marilyn asked about Ryan's little kitty. This is just sick and cruel. Very much agree, Marilyn. She's good. Got awesome. Almost 16, still healthy and happy. That is awesome. That is awesome, Ryan. Oh, bless her. I know how spoiled she must be. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we spoil our little fur babies. And then apparently I missed kisses for Marilyn. I'm so sorry, Marilyn. And hey, on the times that I do miss somebody going through the roster of kisses, please continue to let me know. And thank you very much, Marilyn, for bringing that to my attention. I'm so sorry. So think, oh yeah, that was. Marilyn says, "Bless you, Scott. That kiss was for Ryan. Oh, for Ryan's 16-year-old. Okay, awesome. Bless you, Mary. Yes, I will give her a kiss for you, definitely. Oh, well, Rosie got extra kisses. So, thank you, Ryan. I've heard of the NFL. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I can and will get back with him on that. I will ask my son-in-law. He knows all. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I want to give you an answer, Ryan, but I also don't want to just give an answer for the sake of giving an answer. If I'm not knowledgeable enough to give a good answer, then I will defer to others. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I talking without addressing you? Apparently, the Queen has been neglected for 30 seconds. Not sure how it all works in USA with sports. You know, Ryan, I know that me personally, I'm not a big follower of any sport other than really uh, MMA. I used to follow boxing back when it was big, particularly in the 80s and 90s. But with the rise of MMA, particularly with the UFC bringing it to prominence, then I'm a much bigger fan of that. But I don't follow it. Excuse me, follow it like I used to. But other than that, and I know this is going to sound strange, me being from the South, uh, but I follow auto racing, but not NASCAR. Um, I used to kind of sort of be a NASCAR fan back, the sort of old school NASCAR, but the new, particularly that even back in the 80s, I still wasn't that big a fan of it. But and Ryan, you'll appreciate this one being from the UK. I'm a huge, say it again, huge fan of Formula One. There we go. I don't follow it like I want to just because I stay so busy and everything, but because quite frankly, and sorry for any NASCAR fans that are out there, I grew up in Alabama. I grew up having to deal with, particularly when I was a cop, having to deal with the traffic and the fights and the drunks and the garbage that goes along with having, Talladega, having Dega running. So I'm just over the crap that comes along with NASCAR, and to sit and watch a bunch of cars bunch up and do 500 miles of left turns just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, it's like, to sit and watch 3 hours of look out, we're coming into turn one, we're about to make a left. All right, out of turn one, going into turn two, we're gonna make a left. All right, we're on the back straightaway, got turn three coming up. We are about to make a left. And then after that, we're going to make another left. And if it's a tri-oval, then there's going to be a small left in the middle of. So we're going to do this a lot. Left, that just is like, yeah, whatever. So yeah. But yeah, Formula One, yeah, a Formula One car revving to 12,000 RPMs, doing chicanes and lefts and rights and this, all that. Yeah, that one. Yeah, yeah, that one I like. And for anybody that does watch Formula One, let's have a moment of silence. May he rest in peace for Ayrton Senna. Senna. Ayrton Senna. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, the greatest Formula One driver ever. Maybe a close second would be Michael Schumacher. And I send out prayers for him and his family, since he's been in a coma for the last 10 years or so, since he had a skiing accident. But yeah. Ryan says, yes, love F1 too. I think there wasn't, is it this weekend? Or was it last weekend was the Austrian Grand Prix? Jeanette laughing at me about, you talking about my left turns, Jeanette? Laughing at my, oh, look, yeah, here comes the left. Woohoo! We're about to make another left. Marilyn says, oh my God. What are you, a NASCAR fan? Meh. Oh, brat. Ryan, I was watching that race with my dad on TV when Senna died. Oh, you were watching. You saw. Oh, so you were watching Imola. That was. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. I know it was '94. It was April or May of '94. Oh God. And Michael Schumacher, was that his rookie year in Formula One? It was either his first or second year in Formula One, and he was right behind Senna when he went off the track and crashed. When was that, Ryan? I think it was 94, Maryland. Well, I can look it up because I can do stuff on my phone now. Notice how I shifted gears. I said do stuff on my phone because I started to say something else. What doodle? May 1st of 94. Schumacher would have had much stiffer competition. Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guarantee you, uh, Senna would have definitely uh, walked away with a lot more than the 3 championships that he did, which would have taken some of what was uh, Schumacher, 7 championships, I think, and I don't know if Lewis Hamilton ever beat Schumacher's record and got 8. Yeah, Marilyn said, "Oops, Scott." Yeah, I about said something else, Marilyn. Caught myself. But yeah, if he had, yeah, and maybe his Benetton days. Yeah, I think he was driving for Benetton back then. But yeah, he definitely would have. I don't think Schumacher would have had the number of championships that he did. Uh, like you said, had Senna lived. And then it was the day before, at the same track, Roland Ratzenberger got killed. She's listening along. Yeah. I apologize for any non-Formula One fans that this has devolved into a Formula One conversation. But yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. I watched, there's a documentary called Senna that if you get a chance, watch it. It's absolutely phenomenal. And they talked to, who was the Formula One doctor back then, Ryan? It wasn't Jerry Punch. It was, I can't remember his name, but him and Senna had even told him the day before, or maybe the day of the race, that that he just didn't feel right about it, and the doctor said, "Why don't we both? We've both done well. Why don't we just retire? Let's go fishing." And he ran that last race, and it was his last race. So yeah, that track wasn't safe. Yeah, that Tamburello turn is what it was, and it was, even though it was a sweeping left turn, it was, you stayed all in the accelerator. You stayed to the floor, and they have since redesigned at least that turn after Senna was killed. So Tamburello is not what it was. Marilyn says so track. Yeah, it was horrible. And here's the thing: Senna was a competitor of the first order. I mean, his mission was win, win, win. Would he play dirty? Yes. Would other drivers play dirty? And I can tell you right now, Alain Prost, that was the darling of of Formula One. He what he did. I think it was 92, where he lost, or he won the championship only because he complained to Formula One. The next year, going into the last race, I think the Japanese Grand Prix, all Senna had to do to secure the championship was Alain Prost not finish the race. So he knocked him and Alain Prost out in the first turn, and he got a lot of heat for it, but guess what? He won the championship. Now, that sounds bad, but at the same time, there was a wreck sometime, 92, 93, maybe 90 or 91, where another driver was had a crash. His car was out in the middle of the track, he was unconscious, and Schumacher, Senna stopped his car in the middle of the track, in the middle of the race. To hell with winning. He was more concerned about that driver, jumped out of his car, ran back, and helped get the other driver out of his car, because he was already there, instead of because the track officials were still making their way there while this guy's unconscious in the middle of the track. And Senna stopped his car, he was, that's what I'm saying. He was a competitor of the first order, but he also was a huge, huge, huge human being. And the world lost a lot more than a very talented race car driver, when the world lost Ayrton Senna. I'm glad now you can go flying off the track and not die with the track designs and proper crash. Yeah, particularly if they'd have had safer barriers back then. It was, there's a lot that's changed in the last 32 years since Senna was killed. Yeah, absolutely. Schumacher had amazing ability, but he was dirty too. Yeah, they all, because there's so much riding on that. It's no longer guys running a race like when Enzo Ferrari started making race cars, when he was with he started out with Fiat. And since they wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do with the race cars, then he broke off and started his own race team, Scuderia Ferrari. And the only reason Enzo Ferrari even started making street cars, he didn't care about that. All Enzo wanted to do was race. And he started making street cars for the simple fact that he wanted to sell street cars to finance his racing teams. What we got here? Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's all big business now. It's not just a bunch of guys racing. Sorry, everyone, for the F1 nerds. Yeah, exactly. Jeanette says, I'm with you guys, Ryan, to an extent. My husband knows all this stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I just nerded out on on F1. so yeah. Oopsie. Sorry, my bad. I'm sitting here trying to name the doctor that was over the Formula One trackside doctor back in 1994. God, what was his name? This is going to bug. I'll look it up. Oh God, who was it? It wasn't Jerry Punch. It was who was the F1 doctor in 1994? Sid. Hold on, before I look it up. Sid is coming to me. Sid. Sid something. Sid Watkins. I was close. Well, yeah, exactly. So there we go. Well, we haven't done much with Doodle, but for those of you that are not well versed on Formula One, you kind of got a crash course, no pun intended. Jeanette says, we forgive them, don't we, Marilyn? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, Marilyn. Sometimes we do tend to nerd out on various subjects. I apologize. I can tell you right now, I'm sure my girlfriend's watching. She's probably shaking her head right now. But I'll tell you this, honey, just to let you know, I apologize if in the event I ever go off on a Star Wars or Star Trek tangent. I'm a huge Star Wars and Star Trek nerd. Sort of like Alabama Auburn. Everybody, a lot of people in the Star Wars, Star Trek universes, you sort of have to pledge allegiance to one or the other. I'm loyal to both. My girlfriend does not care for either one. So yeah, she's if I decide I'm gonna do like a Star Wars or Star Trek marathon, she's like, you know what? I'll be over here. Call me when you're done. So What? Meow. She's reminding me. You are aware this is the Rosie Show? Not really. So now you're going to tear up my sofa since I was nerding out on Formula One. So yeah, honey, I apologize if I ever decide to if I ever go off on a Star Wars, Star Trek tangent. My bad. Ryan says, "Hello, Scott's girlfriend." Jeanette, I love Star Trek. There we go. All right. sorry, honey. This may go for a minute, or we may pick this up next week, Jeanette. But real quick, original or TNG or DS9. And I don't do all the other ones that came. As far as I'm concerned, there's 3, barely 3, but really either original or TNG, the next generation. I'm a huge fan of DS9 also. But what, baby? Are you feeling neglected? So I want to get this answer from Jeanette, then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll nerd out on Star Trek next year. Marilyn says hello to Bunny. Jeanette says and Star Wars. Oh, there we go. Ryan says I don't like the new one with the Family Guy man. Which one is that, Ryan? Oh, all of them. Okay, cool. There we go. If I'm thinking of the right thing. Yeah, see, if you're talking about, I watched one Star Wars movie after George Lucas sold to Disney, and they have absolutely destroyed the franchise. Absolutely. So I watched that first one that they made under Disney. I will not, under any circumstances, ever watch another Star Wars movie unless the franchise is sold back to Lucasfilm and it's brought back to its original, or brought back to where it should be. But yeah, so if you're talking about Family Guy man being in Star Wars, I couldn't tell you. Then Star Trek, like I said, after Deep Space Nine, I quit following them because they started coming up with like Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek this one, and it was like they were coming up with too many. But yeah. Now Jeanette says mostly the original. I like the original, but my favorite of the 3 is Next Generation. So there we have it. There's my personal favorite. Meow. Nope, I turned your ear around backwards. Ryan says, yeah, it's not as good since Disney took over. No, me either, Scott. Yeah, I will. I'm very much a traditionalist, but so when Disney bought Lucasfilm, then I was like, okay, we'll see what happens, And so I went to see did I go see it or did I watch it on television? I can't remember if I went to. I don't remember if I went to the theater. Anyway, I watched the first one and I was like, never again, never ever again will I watch another Star Wars as long as it is owned or made by Disney. So, and when George Lucas sold the franchise to Disney, then he actually offered to be a consultant for them to help with the transition from Lucasfilm to Disney, help them write the next story or this, that, and the other. And from what I understand, they kind of very arrogantly were like, no thanks, we can do this. Almost like he was not going to be good at writing the stories for the franchise that he built himself. And he's like, all right, 10-4, your baby, you got it. And they have absolutely destroyed the Star Wars universe, the Star Wars franchise. So I've got the original 6, episode 4, 5, and 6, as they came out in order, episode 4, 5, and 6, then 1, 2, and 3. I've got those. that I watch, and that's all I'll ever watch. And those I could watch over and over and over and over and over again. And when I said that, I'm sure my girlfriend just probably just said that no. She probably just threw a rock through her computer and said, no, we're not doing over and over and over. Oh, but I will, honey. You don't have to be in the room. But yeah, there it goes. Marilyn says, me too, traditional. Exactly. Are you happy now that you're getting petted and I'm not just talking and ignoring you? All right. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We've had a good show. Kind of diverged from all things doodle. Yeah. I guess we're allowed to do that every now and again, aren't we? You're like, nope. Oh, chin scratches. Yes, my fave is Picard. See, that one I do want to see. That one I do. I watched. What was it? I watched part of it on YouTube or something. I don't have. What's it? You got to have Paramount Plus or you got to have ABC, whatever it is. But I don't have that. So, but I am a huge fan of Jean-Luc Picard. I'm a huge fan. Make it so. Engaged. Yes, a great show. God, see there. Okay, so I've got to buy or somehow I got to get Picard because I did. I was so like I said, I never followed the Voyager and the this one and the that one and all the 37 others that they came out with, but when they announced Picard, they were bringing back the captain from the Next Generation with his own series. I was like, yeah, and so yeah, da-da-da. And I like that Data guy with the creepy face and voice. Oh yeah, I love Data. Data's awesome. Data is awesome. It was so funny. That was the first thing I ever saw Brent Spiner in. But then he was in Independence Day. He played the if you saw Independence Day with Will Smith, he played the doctor or the head scientist at Area 51 with the long stringy hair and all this stuff, and it was kind of hard to see him in a role outside of Data. And then I saw him in a role he played on an episode of Cheers, where he just played a customer in the bar, and he was just a normal, but it's just kind of funny to see him outside of Data. It's funny. So yeah. Jeanette had fun. I had fun. Yeah, this one might not have had so much fun since she was not the center of attention today. But yeah, I hope everybody else had fun. I hope everybody had a good week, and I hope everybody has a good, safe, happy, productive week in the coming week. Oh yes, Ryan Data, yes. But yeah, so there we go. Hope everybody had a great week this previous week. If there's anything else, then feel free. What else? Glad Attila's doing good that he's now been hijacked to the Tennessee side, to the Tennessee fans. And Ryan, give your beautiful little fur baby a kiss for all of us. And I think that's about it. Have you got anything else, or you just want to scream at me for not paying enough attention to you today? Now you don't want to talk? Really? You're just going to sort of stare off into space? Just kind of look beyond me? Wow. Wow. Just wow. She's not even acknowledging me now. She's like, I'm done with you, Dad. I'm done. To me, he will always be. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Marilyn. That is all Brent Spiner will ever be. If I ever see him in anything else, I'll just be, yeah, that's just Data with different makeup. That's just Data wearing different. That's just Data that's on Earth now. Yes, we'll give her a kiss. Awesome. Awesome. So, yeah. So next week we will nerd out on Star Trek. No, we won't. Apparently, maybe we won't. I don't know. Meow. All right. Marilyn says she had a good time. Awesome. Sweet. I hadn't even had it scrolled down far enough. Normally, I have this thing set to where I can keep an eye on how many people are watching. I hadn't had it scrolled down far enough to see. There we go. Got 5 right now. There is something different about doing the show. I think it goes into the algorithm differently when it's done on a mobile device, because I remember I did a really quick show. What was it, like 6 or 8 months ago? Where I said that I had a lot going on, but I did want to bring y'all Rosie as best I could, and I did it from my phone because I didn't have time to set up OBS and do this and do that. So I just did it quickly from my phone. Excuse me. And as soon as the show started, I had like 23 people were watching, and I was like, "What?" And then last week, doing it again from my phone outside with Sasha, at one time I think there were like 19 people watching. So I think being on a mobile device, not just using a mobile device as the camera like I used to, but being on a mobile device actually gets it more, puts it out there more. So I may look at doing that. Maybe see if we can grow the channel. I know that I need to start doing shorts again, because shorts gets views, and I usually when I do shorts, then I'll pick up anywhere from 5 to 20 or 30 subscribers a day, for 2 or 3 days. I think the last time I did shorts, I just did 3 or 4 shorts in a row, and I think I picked up like 100 subscribers in about a week. It was crazy. So I need to start doing that, but I've got a lot going on. There's going to be, on a personal note, there here in about the next 19 to say 26 days, I may have some type of an announcement, but there's a lot of hoops that have to be jumped through beforehand. But yeah, hopefully there will be something to report. So we did hope you did as well. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Happy 4th of July for yesterday. Happy 250th birthday for the United States of America, declaring our independence from England. Sorry, Ryan. Oopsie. Sorry, Ryan. Happy 250th anniversary of us telling England to go away. Sorry, Ryan. Just kidding, Ryan. I'm just playing, Ryan. I love all of y'all. I love you, Ryan. So, yeah. Ryan says, happy 4th of July. Thank you very much. I was telling my girlfriend last night, we're actually blessed enough to live in a very interesting time, because if you were born before 1976, then how far before you were born before 1976, but if you were born before 76, you at least lived through it. But if you were born before 76, you lived through the bicentennial of this country, 200 years. You lived through not just the changing of a century, but the changing of a millennium, which only happens every 1,000 years. And if you're fortunate enough, blessed enough to still be alive, then you're living through the 250th anniversary of this country. So I just find that to be interesting. Of all the periods in history that someone can live, they may or may not see the changing of a century, but you know, only people that that are born in certain times will see the changing of a millennium. I mean, you've got people that were born after the year 1000 that will never see a millennium change. Unless they were born, sometime in the early 20th century, early 1900s. So Maryland says we love our mother country. Yes, we do. We absolutely love England. No, don't get me wrong. Don't we absolutely love England? England going through some things where I'm not gonna go there on the Rosie Show, but England, we're praying for you, but we love England, all that good stuff. But yeah, 250 years ago, we said, yeah, y'all got to go. sorry. Uh, but yeah, UK loves USA too. The leaders don't always show it, I don't think, but we are really best. But yes, the people and the people, yes, the people love the people. I think leaders on both sides, whatever side of the aisle you sit on, whatever party you support, your leaders are a disappointment to you. So yeah, but the people, yeah, the people love each other. So yeah, I really think so too, Ryan. I really do. Oh yeah, but yeah, what was I saying? I was saying, well, I got myself off track. She's looking at me like, you're an idiot, dude. You're just an idiot. uh, crap. What was I talking? I was talking about. I do this quite often. I can't. Anyway, apparently it wasn't that important, or I wouldn't have forgotten. Uh, so yeah. Uh, Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th. Oh, I was talking about the just how interesting it is that we live in the times that we live, that we get to experience that this part of this time, this era, just lets us uh, say that we lived through so many things. Like I said, if you were born before 76, I was born in 70, so I was old enough. I remember the bicentennial. Yeah, if you were born before 76, you lived through the bicentennial, you lived through the changing of the millennium. And if you're still here, then you get to see the 250th anniversary. I just find it interesting. So maybe I'm just weird like that. I am partly Oh, Maryland's partly British. Okay, awesome. I think I've got some. I know I've got European in my heritage. Uh, I don't know if any of it's English, if it's British. I know I've got some French by virtue of my dad was Cajun, so he French Canadian. He was born in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge. That's a very bad Cajun accent. He used to do it very well, but so French Canadian from his Cajun roots, and then I think there's some German. I know there's a lot of Cherokee Indian. Uh, my sister told me not long ago, and I meant to look it up. I'll look it up today. Something called the Baker Roll, where it's a verification of your family can if you can trace your heritage back to somebody that was full-blooded Cherokee Indian, then your name or your family name will be on the Baker Roll. So I started to look it up the other day. I need to look it up. But yeah, she told me the other day that we are on the Baker Roll. I've known forever that I've got a lot of Cherokee Indian in me. I think it was it was either my grandmother on my mother's, so the Cherokee Indian comes from my mother's side. So it was either my great grandmother on my mom's side or my great. It, it was one of my crap. How can I say it? So you got my mom, my grandparents. So it was either one of my grandmother's parents was full-blooded Cherokee, or one of my grandfather's parents was full-blooded Cherokee. So one of my greats on my mother's side was full-blooded Cherokee. Now I have absolutely confused myself. She's given up and fallen asleep. So, all right, I'm still rattling on. I'm going to wrap it up here. Let everybody have their Sunday back. Thank you very much for being here. We can pick this conversation up next week because I think this is very interesting. But I've got stuff that I do need to get done, and I know y'all, get tired of hearing me, rattle off at the head. And my girlfriend is probably sitting there going, "Okay, come on, dude, let's go. We got stuff to do." So, sorry, honey. But yeah, Cherokee Indian here, also great grandfather. Okay, cool. So if your great grandfather was full blooded, then you'll be on the Baker roll too, Jeanette. So yeah, at least I got to look and see what that is. My sister told me about it the other day. So, but yeah, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and we will reconvene next week. Same cat time, same cat channel, and hey, just to mix things up, we might get Rosie involved in the show. Who knows? This is 2 weeks in a row. She's like, yeah, dude, isn't this my show? So yeah, there we go. What do you think, Doodle? She's like, whatever, I give up on you. So anyway, all right. Y'all have a safe, happy, productive week. And do you have anything else to say? She's like, anything else? What have I said so far? No? All right. I will see y'all. We sure can. Yes. Remind me next week because I love talking about stuff like this, as y'all can tell, because I went on like a 30-minute tangent on Formula One. So there we go. All right. I will see y'all next week. Y'all have a safe, happy, productive week. Love you all. Thank you for being here. And say toodles, Doodle. She's like, huh? So yeah. So anyway, toodles, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Oh, and as usual, I'm going to leave it up for a few minutes to let everybody say their toodles to everybody, and then we will call it a day and reconvene next week. So y'all have a good one. Love you all. Toodles.